All right, so here's why I don't mind wearing a mask. For one, when you go to a store, okay, so I went to a store yesterday. I hardly ever go up into this area, mostly a white area. I mean, they had jackfruit. I mean, I've never even seen that before, but mostly a white area. And I walked in, and nobody said anything to me until I said something to them. I said, "So do I have to wear a mask?" And then, the person working there says, "Yes, you do." And then another lady stepped up, and she was like, "We have them for sale." Because I said, "Do you sell them?" She was like, "Yes, we do." She said, "But if you're just going to be in and out, one time shopping, boom, we have one, for free." So, I put the mask on. I'm there for 10 minutes, whatever. I bounce. I hardly go into this place. Not a big deal. But here's why I really don't mind wearing the mask to go into these places. One, it makes everybody feel safer. I don't, I'm not going to, I mean, I have asthma, so I can claim that I have a condition because I've had it all my life. But it's, I'm breathing okay. A lot of the complaints about the mask are, you know, you're breathing your own, whatever that is, that you breathe out and it's going back into your lungs and causing you damage. I'm going to say that's not exactly true over a short term. Because when you put, anything over your face, you could be doing that. So I mean, that could happen at any time. And we've had plenty of things over our faces, that could, trap air. Some of us, who like to swim hold our breath a lot. Other people who like to put, play a lot and put a pillow over your face and when you're in blankets and stuff, and your brothers and sisters used to do that when you were kids and, playing around with you. So, all that's been going on. But for a short period of times, I just can't see where that danger is. But I'm not a medical, somebody who's high, studies the lungs, you know. So somebody has more information than I do, of course, and that's fine. Put it out there, teach us. But yeah, it makes people feel safe. Also, if you're going to, for another thing, all right, you better go sit dang on where. Tired of you. Go get my raid and it's going to be over for you. Raid kills flies too, doggone it. So another thing is people, it's not, see, the mind state behind people who are against masks and going in is that the government is trying to do something against you. Now, I'm not exactly with vaccinations. I'm not with that program. But just putting a mask on, there's already harmful chemicals and toxins and stuff that's already in the air. Listen, when COVID-19 started, about a month into it, the Today Show said, I think it was a Today Show, one of them shows, said that the air, or no, I think it was Ellen or something like that. Yeah, it was Ellen DeGeneres. She was doing one of those, Zoom shows and said the air is, something percentage cleaner because people aren't, going around driving and stuff like that. So just within a short amount of time, the Earth, the planet itself, had bounced back, had a knee jerk reaction to us not driving as much. And it was a positive reaction to us not driving around so much. Like, I think this was in California or wherever she's at, which is one of the, most polluted cities because there's so many people there. And just from people not driving around as much, the air became a lot less polluted. Also, in every city, it's hotter than what it is to people, to areas that are not, that are rural. So, humans produce heat just by being there. Um, Kinetic energy and so on and so forth. Hey, happy Sunday to you. Well, I can't say nice seeing you, but nice hearing from you. I never saw you, and peace to you too. But So I don't mind if I'm going shopping, I have to wear a mask. If I'm going into, church or something, I gotta wear a mask. I think they're doing that. Or, just wherever. Now, if I have to have that thing on for hours and hours and hours, you're welcome, babe, hours at a time, I would feel some type of way simply because I do have asthma. So it makes me, I start to, like I find myself breathing heavier. So I do have a reaction to having a mask on my face longer than usual. And, I'm overweight. So, this belly ain't helping none. You know what I'm saying? You can see I'm overweight. My face is fat. But it just doesn't help that I'm overweight and I have asthma. And now you want to put something over my face that I have to wear for, hours. Just the thought of it starts messing with me, and uh, you know, it's not like I'm hyperventilating, but it almost feels like it. So it does have a reaction if I have it on for a little too long. But at this point, I just don't mind having a mask on. I know there's a lot of fuss about it. I know there's a lot of, the country is doing this, the country's doing that. The country been evil. I wear the mask because they say it keeps us safe, but I really don't like it at all. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not here to promote it. I'm just here to say if you're going in and out of somewhere, look, it's almost mandated to the point. Listen, the governor mandated this. Okay, so I go into the UDF, about a month ago. I go into the UDF. UDF people in there don't say nothing to me. I grab my stuff. I go up to the front to pay for it. And, the lady behind there with her little attitude said, we can't help you unless you got a mask on. And I was like, what? She said, there's a sign right there. The sign is sitting up front. Not when you come in the door, that says we can't help you. But nonetheless, now there's a sign in the front door on the front door, and they only allow so many people in. So you already know. Now I got tripped up before. I walked up there going to get some ice cream, didn't have a mask. Lucky me, somebody pulled up and gave me one. But you can't even go into the store. They get some people, other people they let slide, but there are some people who are very religious about that doggone mask, and they're serious. Like, you're not getting, you know, you're not getting no service out of us. We don't want to, because they really believe that the COVID-19 is going to get them and make them sick, and have mercy. We don't want it to make you sick. We're not. I'm not interested in making people think that they're going to get sick if I don't wear a mask. I don't. I'm like, if you want me to wear a mask for a few minutes, that's fine. Just let me get my chicken. That's usually what I'm looking for. A friend of mine who works 8 hours, 5 days a week, said they comes home from work with a headache daily. She has allergies really bad, and so do I. Now, see, those people are, that is a different situation than mine, because there's no requirement for me to wear a mask to go to work. You guys know I work for my own spot, and I'm outdoors. I go to somebody's house. I'm in their house and I'm gone. It's just not a long. I'm just not there for a long time, and there is really no contact between me and the customer. There really isn't. Some customers I don't even like. There's no contact at all. There's just no need, because our transactions are. I'm either there to get a fridge or to leave a fridge. You know what I'm saying? Like they either purchase one or I'm going to purchase one. And a lot of times the transaction, is, if it's financial, sometimes it's digital. Sometimes we don't even deal with the dollars. We just, cash app it, boom, and keep going. But, where the dollars are concerned, they give me the cash and I roll out. So, or I give them cash and, roll out. So there's not a lot of transaction between us. And a lot of times, especially now, most of my customers are not looking for a fridge to go in their house. They're looking for a fridge to go into their garage. So that's already a wide open space. I mean, that's winning for me all day because there's no stairs for a garage. Tennessee governor wants to send protesters to jail for 6 years and revoke their voters' rights. Now, see, I think that's unethical. Now, okay, so we already know that there is, when it comes to the law, there is ethics. There's the law, but the law has a code of ethics that has to go with it. And some laws that are still in the play, whenever something happens and that law comes up, things to the order like you can kill a man for stealing a horse, then ethics comes into it. Some people don't realize that ethics is still a big part of the law because, like, what was it, 08, 09, where the housing, collapsed, the big bubble. And I knew a guy who was selling, mortgages. And, he was selling them to people who, they were just pretty much targeting these people and giving them these mortgages that were, it's very unethical. Yeah, and that's probably why it won't stand. But nonetheless, short story. This guy was in the six figures, but him and his crew, some of his friends, went to jail, and it wasn't for anything else other than ethics, and they went to jail for years because they were selling people these mortgages and knew that once they, those mortgages go up, those people were going to lose their house, and they did. A lot of people, so they sued them for ethics. Uh, what's going on, brother? They sued them for ethics, and they imprisoned them for ethics. So there's going to be a lot of ethics that's going to come into play here on some of these things. Now, when you walk into the store and you tell somebody, "Listen, I have a condition," uh, ethically, ethically, they're not supposed to force something on you. But what's going to happen is you walk into a, you're going to have some type of identification showing what your condition is that prevents you from wearing a mask. Yeah, see, but you're see when okay, if wherever there's a hero, there's a villain, and it's like which comes first, the chicken or the egg? You know what I'm saying? If you create these laws, you're going to have a knee jerk reaction of people who are going to try to get around that law. It's just not going to be something that's going to go through the House, the Senate, and then boom, it's a law without there being a crud ton of kickback on it simply because it's unethical to make someone wear a mask if their life is in danger because of it, especially if they can prove it scientifically or medically can prove that if you make this person wear a mask, uh, there's a good chance that they're gonna have effects like headaches. You're gonna have constant headaches, and they're can do all these other medical things, and it can go from bad to worse. And you know what it's gonna be akin to? Minors, not not kids. Minors, as in people who go down into the mine. Yeah, as in people who go down and that whole life that they have. The mining life is a very, I mean, I can't say that it's lucrative. It's a living. I don't think any of those guys got rich off of it, but it was what they did. It's the area that they lived in. It's my dad was a miner. I'm a miner. And then boom, they go down there. knowing all the risk, and make a decent living. Get a wife named Sissy and have some kids, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? But the issue is their breathing was always offset, no matter what kind of masks that they wore. So that's what's going to be the major problem. You're going to have ethics involved in it, and I already know that if for some reason I have to go into an area for hours, like I have to do this, like this is my livelihood now, I'm going to end up, going to the hospital and saying, listen, this is not going to work for me, not unless you give me a certain type of mask. But I'm not going to be able to wear one of these little blue and white joints and run around all day in it. It's not going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just going to be that. And it's just not going to happen. So what you're going to see is you're going to see other masks coming out. You're going to see other masks coming out. They're going to have the, what is it, N95. They're going to have N95 certifications, but they're going to be, special for the people who need them. And they're going to be at it in an inflated price, but they're going to still be reasonable. Because once again, ethics. When all this came out, some Jewish guy bought up thousands and thousands and thousands of masks, and he decided that he was going to sell them at at a ridiculous cost, and the police caught up to him in New York. One of these rich Jews caught up to him and was like, "Yeah, you're going to jail," and he decided to cough on him, just being an idiot. And the guy who bought up all the stuff for hand sanitizer, him, and he was selling it. It wasn't against the law that you bought them, but ethically, you broke an ethical law. Ethically, you can't buy up all the hand sanitizer where everybody needs hand sanitizer to survive. So ethically, and he bought it all up just to resell it. It's not a crime, a regular crime, but it is an ethical crime, and so he of course paid for it in some kind of way. So ethics is always involved. Let me read some more of your comment. Did you hear about the guy that? Hold on, let me read this first. 15,000 fines. Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous. I'm trying to get all Lady G's out the way. Uh, Unethical and sad as well. Yeah, but somebody's gonna try it. Okay, so did you hear? What up, Kev? Kevin, right? No, I can't see that. Is it Karen? I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, my eyes. Did you hear about the guy that passed out behind the wheel and died because he had the mask? Yeah. See, once again, the mask does restrict your breathing. It does. Look, those. Okay, so when I put that mask on, my your your conscience and the reality already says there's something over your face. So the instant reaction to it is you start breathing faster. Your heart rate starts to go up. Even though nobody's trying to suffocate you, something's over your face. So the natural reaction is almost panic. Even though it's a very slight bit, it's still, every time you put one of those on, you open your mouth. You usually don't breathe through it with your mouth closed when you first put it on. You put it on and your mouth is open. Yeah, because you're thinking this thing is blocking your air. You know what I'm saying? And it is, but it's not blocking all your air. But it is constricting some of your airflow uh, to a certain point. Because it's a very unnatural thing. It's just not natural to have that thing over your face. Um, and if you're not used to it, if you don't work in one of these conditions, you're not a painter, you don't work around toxic things, you don't work in a hospital, so on and so forth, you're not a fireman, you're not used to breathing through a mask. It's just not natural for you. So your reaction is going to be more, uh, not violent, but it can be for a long amount of time. If it's on there for a long amount of time, And people are making you do it. That's another thing. You have to do this. People are making you do this. When somebody's making you do something you don't want to do, your natural reaction is to, I don't want to do this. And your body reacts to it, just the way your mind does. I don't want to do this. You're hurrying up through the store, your mouth is open, you're breathing more times repetitiously than what you usually would because you're thinking that you're not taking on as much oxygen. And when you're, 50 pounds overweight, like, me, it just has over an amount of time, it has an effect where it's like, I have to get this mask off my face. I know that I'm overweight, and I'm not, there's no bones about that. Look at my cheeks. I'm overweight. I already know it. But when I have that mask on too long, I gotta get this off my face. And I hurry up out the store. I don't go into a store with a mask on and buy a whole bunch of things. I don't. I go get a few items and then I get the hell out of there because I don't like the feeling of it. I could, be in it as long as possible, but I don't like it, so I get out of there. So you're going to have, as far as, I didn't hear about that story, but it doesn't surprise me, especially with people who, like I said, you don't work in that atmosphere where you wear a mask. And also, one, you're overweight, and two, you're working in a job where you can't really take it off. A bus driver, unless he or she is on break and there's nobody else on the bus, is not going to take that mask off. That mask is going to be on there for hours. Um, it just, yeah, it just is what it is. Yeah, that mask is gonna be on their face for hours, and so I can I can see how that happened. Passed out behind the wheel and died. Or anybody who's driving long distance, but mostly if it's somebody who is driving who's driving the public. I mean, do pilots wear masks? I mean, are pilots wearing masks? When you get on the airplane, is everyone on the airplane required to wear a mask? See, I don't know because I don't fly, huh?
Afternoon, I talk to myself.
Yeah,
I will say good afternoon.
yeah. Good afternoon. See, I don't know if everybody's required to wear a mask while they're in flight. I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? While they're in flight, I don't know this, but if you're looking at a 5 hour flight, 5, 6 hour flight, then you're stuck. Yeah, I mean, there's somebody right next to you. You're not getting up and going anywhere. The airplane is pretty. The only bright side to that is not as many people are flying. Because I actually thought about taking a flight today. I was going to fly to Texas and go see my brother. But yeah, I don't know how the flights are going. I know that they're cheaper, but I don't know if everybody has to be masked up. And that's not something I'm looking forward to. But I'm not driving to Texas. That's a 24-hour trip. I'm not doing that. Well, it's not 24 hour to get there. It's to get there and back. It's just, I don't know. It's just way long. But yeah, that's why I don't wear a mask. That's why I don't mind wearing a mask. I mean, I'm in and out. But if I was one of these people who worked around people every day, I mean, what are social workers doing? How are they getting along? I mean, just think about that. They're constantly coming in contact with different people. The people who work at the grocery stores. I mean, I feel sorry for them if any of them have asthma or some type of breathing issues because you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna feel funny, and some people. I mean, I mean, when they look at why that guy died, his air wasn't being constricted to the point where he'd suffocate. So why did he? I mean, it's okay. He got lightheaded, but why did he get lightheaded? And some ologist who studies, pulmonary and lung and all that, is gonna, they're gonna have to start coming out and saying, okay, this is what the mask can do. And I've seen some, but somebody's gonna have to go and talk to the Surgeon General. Is what's gonna happen. It's and it's. I mean, Dr. Fauci might be at the forefront, but the Surgeon General is going to have to say, because of an accident like that and killed people. I mean, you can't ignore that. And it was all because of the mask. If he didn't have the mask on, he wouldn't have died. So they have to go and, okay, this is the problem with these other. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a switch in the masks that come out. And that's going to be a whole economical thing too, because, like I said, they're not going to be these little paper thin things that people wear in the hospital. They're gonna be something else. Because if people start falling out because of the mandate, I mean, that's ridiculous. They're not. They can't. COVID-19 has a 99% chance of survival. If people start dying because they're trying not to get COVID-19, well, I mean, now what's the real problem? You know what I'm saying? And I believe that, the story, I believe that's going to happen more. Because I know whenever I put it on, I just don't feel right. I don't feel right at all. And I went and bought some new ones too. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get one of them black ones. But my biggest issue with the mask on is that when I put it on, for one, it's touching my nose. Like I said, when you start thinking that something's covering your face, you have a reaction to it. So what I'm gonna have to do is get one that, of course, covers, the contour of my face and everything. Even though I have a beard, and they're telling you if you have a beard, things can still get up through there. But I noticed that people have masks that come all the way down to their chest, and they come up around, like they'll wear a scarf or something. It covers their whole face, and it, comes down around here. I don't know how certified that is to keep out any viruses, but they're not stopping people from doing that. I guess if there's some filters in there somewhere, then hey, you're, certified. Boom, go to the store, whatever. I saw somebody. I saw somebody the other day who had on. They had on a cloth over their head. They had a brown cloth over their face, over their neck, and their outfit was all dressed the same way. It was all the same color, out of the same material. So it doesn't seem like there is a requirement to wear a mask. It seems like there is a requirement to wear something over your face. It's like you can walk into the store and have a cloth and go, and be good, and nobody's going to say anything to you, because they're not mandating that you wear something that's N95 certified. That's not what they're doing. They're not. When you see these signs, to go on UDF and Kroger and Winn-Dixie or wherever you're going into any of these places where the public is going to be, you'll see a sign that says you have to wear a mask, but you will not see one that says it has to be N95 certified. You won't see it. They're not asking you for something certified. Hell, people have gone in, they're walking around with handkerchiefs over their face. You cannot tell me that that's an N95 certified. It's just not. It's not. A handkerchief is not going to stop a virus, but you don't hear nobody complaining about it. So, they're going to have to clean all that up too, and because to me, I mean, I don't wear handkerchiefs, and scarves and all that, but it would make me feel a lot better. It looks worse, but it would make me feel a lot better than wearing that damn mask. It just would. But still, I'm for it. The whole thing is just a big mess. It is a big mess. It's a big mess because it's not being um, it's not being treated. Okay, from the very beginning, COVID-19 was not treated with seriousness. It wasn't. It wasn't. We didn't treat COVID-19 like it could knock off all the people that it did. We did not do that. We treated it like how they say the flu. They were like, all this mess about the flu, and the flu kills 5,000 people a year. The flu's a lot worse, yada, yada, yada. When it touched down in America, for one, we didn't even think we were going to get it. The president closed the borders and we're like, we're not going to get it. We're protecting our border, yada, yada, yada. But they still kept the border open for trade. Who do we do most of our trading with? China. So you let boats come into, what I'm saying? You let boats come into our docks just so you can, your GDP can be the same and it not be affected because heaven help us if it is. And it was, and which is gross domestic product for you guys. And basically, you wanted to keep that trade going and let those people come over into the country, but you wanted to stop all the flights. Well, of course, those people who were still coming into the country, they were in contact with, other people, and then boom, there it went. And then, of course, you couldn't stop every flight. You could stop commercial flights, but you couldn't stop the businesses because a lot of import and export is also done by flights. So you wasn't going to stop that program either. And boom, next thing you know, it just took off like wildfire. All these people get sick and they have COVID-19. And we still didn't take it seriously. And this is the reason why it's so messed up. See, Taiwan took it seriously. Their president, who is a female, jumped on it. Go on about your business. Go on about your business. Not unless you want to die today. Flies. Their president took it seriously, and they have I don't even think they have any casualties. And there are other countries who did the same thing. They're just like, okay, this is what we got to do. Boom, we're going to do it. They didn't have the pride that America has. America is so full of pride, they think nothing's going to happen to them because we spend $56 billion on weapons. So we can whoop anybody's behind, but you can't whoop the virus. The virus is kicking your behind, bro. Anyway, so I just wanted to get some of that out. And thank you guys for stopping by, listening to my ranting. And my next video, I think I'm gonna make about. I might go out and get a girlfriend. Sorry to say that, but I was just realizing that I might have to start being social again. I'm not happy about it, but there's a space that needs to be filled. That's because my business is doing okay. My business wasn't doing okay. I wouldn't even be thinking about that. But when a man if you're scared, go to church. Yeah, well, I've learned a long time ago that church is not a refuge for the fears of the world. Church is a refuge. Church is a refuge for the fear of the world after this one. Yeah. Now, if you're afraid to burn in hell, go to church. Absolutely. But this world, there's no magic, door or anything or shield over a church, as we found out through so many people. There's so much stuff happening in the churches that shouldn't even be in there. So fear and getting rid of fear has nothing to do with going to church. But if you're afraid, you're going to go to hell, go to church. But yeah, I might have to get a girlfriend, or at least date. I'm gonna date. I'm not gonna get a girlfriend because I don't want no woman telling me what to do. I don't, I don't want no woman telling me what to do at all. Not one bit. I don't want you opening my curtains, my blinds, trying to get more light in the house. Get out. It's so dark in here. Why don't we get out? Get out. It's dark for a reason. My eyes hurt when there's too much light. That's why it's dark. Get out. Bye. Later. But yeah, I might end up acquiring a lady friend or two. Not at the same time, but I might. I'm just saying, get out. Try to tell me what to do. Why are you looking at her? Because she's standing in front of me. Get out. I'm not. Some girl liked your picture on Instagram. I am 53 years old. Do you think I care? I don't care. I don't. I don't even look at Instagram. Get out. I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not. So, but sometime when I come home, I'll be hungry, and I wouldn't mind if like I don't mind going out and making money, because I make mine the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I come home injured and tired and beat up sometimes just from these fridges or getting into it with people. I done got a knife, a gun drawn on me, knife drawn on me, and punched in the face. So, it gets a little crazy out. But, when I'm successful and I'm doing good, I'll be wanting to come home and celebrate, like, yo, I did good today, but I ain't got nobody to tell that to. So, you know, woman can have a honeydew list and ask you kindly. Even let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I've never dated a woman who had a honeydew list. Never. Most of the women I dated, they took care of whatever on their own. But being I am 100% man, I always knew what to do. She didn't have to tell me. Um, and the women I dated picked that up. They picked that up very quickly. Hell, I was doing more cooking than they were. Nah, I don't even talk to her. I have not two words to say to her. But nonetheless, so if you're gonna give me a honeydew list, like okay, so I got a neighbor. She kind of sweet on me, but it's not. I'm not. I don't look at her like that. But she'll, hey, I need my picture hung, or hey, I need these chairs. And sometimes I'll go over there and do it. But recently I was outside, chilling. She came by and she was like, "Yo, I was thinking about, putting the garden out, and blah blah blah, and talking to me about her gardening." And I was just listening to her like, I already know what this is. And she was like, "Well, I'm telling you because I want you to help me." I said, "I know that." I said, "You act like I'm your husband." She was like, "No, yeah, whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what you're doing." And I told her, I said, "Listen, you know, you ain't feeding the brother." like, like it just like it. I'm just old fashioned like that. I'm getting something out of the deal. And she's like, "Oh, I'll cook you dinner." I was like, "Yeah, you better, whatever, bro." I was like, "Yeah, get it right, cause I'm not asking for anything else from you. I'm not trying to get in your pants. I'm not doing anything. I'm just simply saying you better put a ham sandwich together. No, you keep asking me to do all this stuff at your house. Yeah, that's cool, but I'm not gonna, I'm not coming over to do nothing because you didn't get the memo the first 5 times I was over there, hanging your plants and whatnot. You just kept asking me to do stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Mm-mm. I said I don't know why you don't know this, but If you don't, what up, Dre? If you don't feed a man, then he ain't gonna do nothing for you. And that's it, and that's all. That's right. And I mean food. I don't mean all that other goofy stuff girls talk about. I mean actual food. If you don't do that, then so the women I used to date knew that. I mean, they would go to work, come home, and I would be at their house, and they would come in and cook dinner because I didn't. I was. I used to have the traditional 9 to 5 jobs, but I know that I found out that hustling, I made more money hustling than I did, what I'm saying, trying to create something because I couldn't fire myself. So I made more money hustling. So a lot of time I would be at the crib if they wanted to see me, and they'd be like, just go to my house. So I'd be at the crib waiting on them. Sometimes I wouldn't even leave the house. I've been there all day. But I would be on the computer or on the phone. So I still had my hustles going. I was still trying to do something out there, but it just was non-traditional. And they didn't come in the house and go, what'd you do today? I only had one woman do that to me, and I didn't date her for too long. But the majority of women, like I dated for years, never opened their mouth and said that. Not one bit. Because they knew the drill. They knew that, for one, I wasn't broke. I was broke, but I wasn't broke. I wasn't the type of broke where I never had money. I was the type of broke where I would go out and make money and I needed it for my bills because I kept my own apartment. After I got kicked out from a couple, I kept my own spot. I would pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? And so, and a lot of these odd jobs that I was working, they was no joke. I wasn't getting paid a lot, but I'd go and do them. And as long as I was doing something, they didn't care. But they, even when I would lose those jobs, they never would say, oh, you lost your job. Like I never had to go through that. I just didn't, you know. Hell, some of them would even pay my rent, buy me dinner and stuff like that. But I didn't look at that like, yeah, you just paid my rent. I knew what it was. So the honeydew list, I don't mind, but I already know the honeydew list. Like I'm already built like that. I don't wait for some chick to tell me to do something. If the garage door needs fixed, then I'm gonna find out how to fix the garage door. I'm not gonna wait till next year to do it. I'll be like, okay, let me get on this garage door. If just things because I like fixing stuff. So I keep a tool set on deck. Like what's good? I'm ready to fix something. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to take something apart and then see how it works and then put it together. So I don't mind the honeydew list at all. But I mind if I stumble and the chick gets on me, I mind that. I don't, that just makes me, or if she cheats on me because I'm not working right now because something happened to me, then, then I dip out. I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. That's what you want to enjoy. Get it in. Go ahead. Upside down. Y'all should be hanging off chandeliers because he's gonna leave, and I'm already gone. And when he comes over, he's just gonna knock your boots and dip. He's not gonna come over and fix anything. He don't care about your car running right. He's not smelling your car. He's not listening to it. He's not, what I'm saying? He ain't under the hood early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be up at 6 and gone by 7. And I'm up before you are. Making sure you getting on, looking at the tires, looking at the tread. He ain't doing none of that. He just gonna come by and sling it on you and dip. Oh no, my program is completely different. Get a face tat. And, nah, I ain't getting no damn. Screw all that. I'm not tatting up nothing. Ain't letting nobody put no tats on me. I'm good. I'm ordinary. The chick don't want my ordinary black ass, then I don't care.
You're not in there. You're not. You might be in the bathroom.
How you doing today? You look nice. You all right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Whose birthday?
The little girl
Oh, okay, the baby one with the braid, the beads.
Yep.
Got you. One. She
One. Yep.
got you. Bunch of kids over there. Cool people, cool people. But yeah, so I don't mind the honeydew less, but I already know what I need, what needs to be done because I'm just that dude. You know what I'm saying? If I can fix it, if I can't fix it, call up my homies. Like, yo, we gotta get this. We gotta get this and get it going. Because I'm not gonna change a tire rod unless I have to. Unless I have to, but I'd rather call up a homie who got all the tools and that. But if I gotta do it, then I gotta, go and search and figure out how to change the tie rod, go out and buy all the stuff, and boom, change it. And that's just gonna lead me into, changing something else. Like, okay, something else pop off of the front. I gotta, it'll get done, but I'm saying, that type of thing. It's me and Kobe birthday. When's yours? Well, Tony, my birthday is in December. My birthday's in December. It's sad the way Kobe went out, especially when you see that cartoon talking about Kobe not passing the ball and then he, crash. It's either you pass the ball or you're gonna crash in a helicopter crash, and then he does, and then boom, Kobe dies in a helicopter crash. It's like, who's predicting this stuff? Like, how did you know Kobe was gonna die in a helicopter crash? And little Gigi, she was, I don't know, what, 13? I don't know. I don't follow basketball, so I don't know these people. I don't have an attachment like that. But the whole Kobe story is very sad. Uh, and all the other people that died too. To my understanding, it was just a regular ferry, um, being ferried from one place to another. They did it all the time. It just seems strange. The whole accident, it just seems strange. I did some videos about it, yeah. But yeah, celebrate him. Yeah, he was a great athlete. Celebrate that man. All right, you guys, I'm expecting somebody to come over here and look at one of my fridges. So I will talk at you later. Thanks for stopping by. Peace. God loves you, and so do I.